Back in the year 1999, three people who once worked for Blackout Studios asked themselves a question. What would happen if someone was to bring scientific progress and industrial revolution to the world of fantasy? And answer to this was Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura. Released in 2001 as a debut project by Troika Studios, consisting of Tim Kaine, Leonard Boyarsky and Jason Anderson, lead developers of the original Fallout, the game was initially received favorably by game critics and players alike. The game takes place on a continent of Arcanum that undergoes an industrial revolution. New technological achievements and appliances are replacing traditional magic that dominated the continent for centuries, much to discontentment of magi, elves, and generally all arcane beings. The game sports a huge variety of options for character creation that really affect the way the character is regarded in the world. Even such things as different race, especially if it's a hybrid like half-orc, as well as character's gender, you can play a female of any race except for half-ogres, are reflected in dialogue, character, impressions, and ways to accomplish different quests. Much like in Fallout, the way you initially build and develop your character, distribute its attributes and abilities, reflects a lot upon the gameplay, from initial NPC reaction towards you, to your battle skills, to the dialogue and questing job. Battle system has nothing new to offer and is essentially a reworked and polished system from Fallout with lots of melee, ranged and magic weapons to choose from, alongside with special appliances like mines, grenades, traps, tranquilizers and more. Another thing is the game's world. It is open and absolutely humongous. You can literally walk from one part of the continent to the other without a single loading screen, and spend a good 6 or 7 hours while you're at it. Of course, if you are not a fan of a long world, fast travel is available, but the option is neat nonetheless. The game even has its own level and map designer with which any player could create his own locations or even completely new campaigns themselves. The writing is decent, there is a lot of dialogue and it's various enough to allow interesting and unique roleplay. In fact, the game was made with high replayability and a variety of playstyles in mind. The game can be beaten without ever hiring a companion, without any dialogue except for scripted one. It's totally possible to just kill everyone and everything in your path and still complete the main quest, or just talk almost everything or everyone into cooperation, submission, or dread. Character can be rude, dramatic, stupid, dumb, and hilarious in his dialogue and journal, sarcastic, cynic, ruthless. It's your pick. Most of the quests can be beaten in several ways and sometimes turn out not what they seem to be if you dig deep into them. For example, a story of a greedy elder man and a poor woman may turn out to be a complex mixture of affection and guilt. Music and voice acting are superior. Most of the main characters are given their own unique fitting voice, which adds a nice flavor to such an old game, along with immersive and memorable soundtrack performed by a string quartet.
Sure, I'll do it right away.
With that said, why then is this game almost forgotten nowadays? Why wasn't it a commercial success everyone would talk about for decades? Well, although the game was highly praised after its showcase at E3 2000 and open beta test, as well as given optimistic reviews upon launch, a lot of problems popped up after the initial release. Glitches, sighting bugs, incompatibility with several video card types at the time, and not very intuitive interface. The game was also regrettably criticized for its outdated graphics, which impacted the sales among casual gamers quite a bit. Another problem people had with it was that for such a huge open world there was very few actual locations, the majority of the map being taken by forests, fields, roads, mountains and other repetitive landscape, factually rendering the open world feature useless. All in all, Ross stated the game upon release, subpar graphics, and the fact that it came out way after such big hits as Fallout 2 and Baldur's Gate led Arcanum to be great yet underestimated at the time. Of course, several patches were issued, including one by the game's fans, which fixed most of the problems, and the game eventually turned out to be the bestseller, but by the time the train was long gone for Troika Studios, who met their demise in 2005 after releasing another two games equally controversial in their quality. The game bizarrely turned out to be an epic fail and an epic win at the same time. That was Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura, and you know, despite all the above, I still can't help loving this game. It had its problems, but almost all of them were solved in the past decade. The graphics might be outdated, but so is with all games older than 3 or 4 years. It is well put together, rich in content, and generally fun to play. Definitely a worthy RPG classic. brother Temis, and this was my first video for YouTube. If you liked the video, feel free to press the get here button and subscribe for more reviews and let's plays of small contemporary gems and games of all the like. Thanks for watching and be excellent to each other. Bye bye.